Scars and Spikes Match Reaction Podcast. Match Reaction shows that Lady United loses to Real Salt Lake 3-2 to fall to 3-0 on the season. Sydney Henry with you, Tyler shortly, Tommy shortly as well. As Henry, take a look back at yet another loss for Atlanta United.
Worst start in franchise history. Hey, we're breaking records.
Worst, not the records we want to break, but we're breaking records. It's been a historic season so far.
Oh God, I just hope they don't extend this historic start to the season. Yeah, it's brutal. Like, just I think you go into your first home game with a lot of hope because you feel like, okay, well, the home, like going away and beating some of these teams, like that's a different story. But when you host, like this is your fortress, you have to kind of hold it down. And this team did not do that last night. So yeah, we'll definitely break it down. But it's not a from the beginning, right? From the moment we saw like the tifo, like the Terminator tifo, like already like
we got to talk about that because that's like got an Atlanta United viral for the wrong reasons.
The worst omen possible before the game.
I saw someone tweet me when I posted the video like they've needed new rigging in the stadium for the tifo and obvious malfunction, but I mean, yeah, it's just a metaphorical for been happening with Atlanta United right now. Then you go and lose 3-2. You go down 3-1 in the first half. Thank goodness for Moranchuk. We'll talk about him a little bit later on. Getting a brace. We probably his best match in Atlanta United uniform, to be honest. So that's something. Galazza came in. That's something.
Yeah.
But Baracal wasn't good.
Look, obviously the result kind of puts a damper on everything. But there were a few individual like little positives. Hi, Tyler. And I know that's weird to say after a game like this, and I know people are in the chat are going to roast me like, how could you talk about positives after this?
How can you talk about positive after this? No, I'm just kidding.
but yeah, I mean, just like there were like really bad moments, there were also really, really good moments, and a lot of these really, really good moments, you know, they came in the second half, especially. But I think that, you know, first of all, the two goals were very well constructed. I think seeing Alexi as involved as he was good. I think he really. I don't know if this is a compliment with the state of the roster right now, but he kind of validated Tata's statement that he and Miggy, or at least he, is one of the best players on the team, the best player on the team maybe at this point. But yeah, other than that, we saw at least this team be more threatening in the attacking third and create more shots, create more chances than they had in the previous two games, which is something that Tata pointed out in his presser, and he was right to. And I think he was absolutely right to say, like, look, the problem with the last two games was an entirely different problem than what happened in this game. Because in this game, you actually created the chances and you looked better. Atlanta actually did look better than RSL going forward.
Yeah.
And RSL gets a couple of very low XG chances, mind you, puts them away, and then suddenly the game's just out of your reach. Yeah. And that, I'm not saying that to excuse anyone, but that is just soccer sometimes.
Guys, Gozo is a really good player, by the way. Xavier Gozo, potential U.S. Men's national team player, current U20, potential U.S. Men's national team player. To be fair, it's a really well taken goal. You guys are focused on the chat. I'm talking about Gozo. To be fair, it's a well taken goal by Gozo, but you know, let's talk about Baracal, Tyler, Tommy, before you guys hopped on the center back pairing. Tommy, you were there. Your home winning streak is over.
Damn it!
Fortunately for you,
well, you guys got right into the game. But let's. I'm going to rewind for a minute, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Hell of a tailgate. A hell of a welcome back to the fans. I said it on Wednesday. Didn't know if we were going to. I predicted we were going to win. I'm the dummy. But
I did too. So
but I said that the thing about the home opener is that you're gonna probably get the largest crowd you might get for the year, just because we don't know how good this team's gonna be.
mm,
But just seeing, like, I saw so many people, like, hugging and saying, like, "I haven't seen you since, October, November."
yeah,
And that was, just seeing people get back together, and, like, the Tommy curse has absolutely started 100%. But, like, it was just cool, like, just seeing everyone, like, for me, I see them, like, once a year, twice a year, but, like, these guys see each other every single week for an
mm.
entire season, and then they kinda go on this extended break. But seeing everyone get back together was just, it was an awesome time. And thanks to everybody that came by
Sure.
and said hi to all of us. It was awesome seeing everyone again.
Tyler, you and I were there. Henry was there. Jackson was there. The whole gang was there.
Well,
So
Gray
was
wasn't.
Gray.
as well.
We wish you were there, Gray.
Except Gray, who was in Charleston, who's not feeling well. We found out, but hopefully Gray gets better. But that's just the camaraderie that exists between this fan base, win, lose, or draw. I mean, you hope for more wins, of course, but it's good to be back at the bed. It's good to be back among friends. To your point, Tommy. So that was good. That was a good part of it.
Hi, dog.
The
These
performance.
dogs won't leave me alone.
You know,
Since
Tata-
I came home.
Yeah,
Tata said it last night. One of the things that he mentioned, he was like, it's great to be back. This was his homecoming, right? Like, I feel like it kind of got a little glossed over with all the craziness of everything else and the way the season started. But I mean, this was his first moment back in front of the fans as Tata 2.0 anyway. And he said last night, he's like, it put a little damper on the mood considering the result, but like he reiterated, it's one of the best places to play in the world. Like, it's just such a special
Yeah.
place. And I kind of mentioned in my article last night, like, it's up to the 11 players that are playing on that pitch at any given time. At this point, man, you owe it to these fans because they show up week in, week out. They do everything that they're supposed to do, including creating brilliant tifos that unfortunately can't go up correctly. But
That was the start.
I know they
That was
actually
the
started
start.
with the golden spike not going in the hole properly. There was
I missed that.
Look,
missed
we
that
all
part.
have that problem on
Yeah.
occasion. So,
You
like,
know.
it's
Shut up, Tommy.
I was watching it, like,
go.
trying to go in. I was like, come on, like, one of you can, like, do you have this problem all the time? Like,
It was like definitely like the beginning of, oh boy, is this how the night's gonna go?
Yeah.
But no, the fans, they show up, and the supporter section, man, like it was packed out pretty well
Yeah.
last night. I was really impressed with the turnout over there, especially. But the team has got to start paying these fans back.
Real quick on the
Guys.
rigging. Sorry, Don. Real quick on the rigging. 5 ticks and 5 strikes watching on Instagram saying Tifo problems have persisted for years. Can't get enough from front office. Some other technical limitations.
Yeah.
So a whole other topic for a whole different night. But now we know what happened.
Yeah, and the thing is, I've heard about this, and like a couple of years ago, it was supposed to have been like updated somewhat, but I don't know that it was ever like updated to the way that it needed to be. I'm trying to keep an eye on the end of the twos game over here, but the thing is, I'm not blaming anybody for it. It was just one of those things that was like, dang, dude, this is how it's gonna happen on opening day. Like, it was such a beautiful tifo, and these people put in so much
I
time and
know.
effort and
Yeah.
work.
Hours.
It's just a frustrating moment.
Dude, but just the
Yeah.
fact that so much like weird stuff happened in this game, like the tifo thing was one thing, the spike not going in right, and them kind of struggling with it was another. But then there was the Fafa Pico, wait, no, that's Sergio Santos substitution dilemma thing, which was very, very weird. And
Icing on the cake.
yeah, there is a Michele Giannone actually kind of posted a little bit of a synopsis of what happened on Twitter. I think it was sideline reporting in this game. I don't remember
Yeah.
exactly, but he basically said Sergio Santos was supposed to sub in with Saba and Edwards, and he ended up not subbing in because it turns out that Santos on the team's roster is number 19. But in the official game roster, he was listed with the number 22. But Fafa Picault is number 22. So what they had to do is they had to run and go get a Fafa 22 kit,
Oh,
scrub
Lord.
his name off, and have him put that over his regular
Oh,
jersey.
gosh.
And so he was playing with 2 jerseys.
That's why I texted you right after the game ended. I saw him, like, they had him on the screen, and like I see him take it off to another one, and I was like, wait, that everybody doesn't do that, right? Right? And then I
Right.
saw the explanation this morning. I was like, okay, I saw
Yeah.
it. It was a real thing that
I
happened.
mean, how do you mess up your own roster numbers, guys?
Man,
Come on.
No idea.
It makes me
insane.
second
Really-
guess like the whole MLS. Like we've been making fun of MLS over the past couple of matches because they keep putting up the wrong player with the wrong name. on
Yeah.
the
Oh,
lineup.
yeah.
And I'm
we're
like,
not any better.
do
Right.
we blame the wrong people?
These
I
are not
get it.
singing players out
Accident-
with the wrong number.
Did we
Accident
provide him
happens.
the wrong picture?
I know I had like a second guess, and I was like, I know what these players look like. I know what these players look like, and I know their numbers. And then I started second guessing like the video that Stella did, naming off the players. I was like, oh god,
Yeah.
did I get Fafa and Sergio Lactose backwards?
Sergio Lactose.
Fafa Picault.
It really
Plus-
could have been like 4-1 at the end of that half. At the end
Yeah.
of the first half, it could have been 4-1. Like it was, you're lucky. A couple of those shots, like I think the one hit the crossbar, like at the beginning
Yeah.
there. I mean, it was real bad
So-
bad in that first half.
It really was. And I mentioned the young players for I tweeted this out yesterday on social media. The 3 goal scorers for Real Salt Lake were 2 supplemental players, and then a player that is I forget what it's called. Gosh, what was it called? They're not a listed player, but it's slipping my mind right now. I'll have to look it up. But
Trialist?
no, not a trialist, but I have to think about off roster player. I don't know why I forgot that, but an off roster player. So those were the 3 goal scorers for Real Salt Lake. The off roster player was, of course, Hezarkani, and the supplemental players were Sergei Solans and Xavier Gozo. Or I could have that backwards, but it just goes to show you again. It's not how much you pay for the talent; it's talent above everything. And it could be a $500,000 player. I'm sorry, a $50,000 player, minimum salary player, or a player that makes a lot of money, like over $2 million. It doesn't matter. It's the talent that wins out in the end. And when you see a player like
I mean, it's
Xavier,
the hunger that wins out.
the hunger and the desire, yeah. But
I'm not knocking on any of San Jose's players because they just beat Atlanta, but I can't sit here and act like any of them are more talented than Miggy or any of the DPs.
I'm
But
not saying they're not more talented.
they
But
want it a lot. They wanted it last night a lot more,
yeah,
and they made it work. Now, I got to throw this in there too, like to play devil's advocate with Tommy's point. The beginning of that game, Atlanta could have had 1 or 2 early on as well. Miggy almost dunked on San Jose in like the second minute when he took off, 1v1 and just absolutely found his speed from 2018 again. And you're thinking like, oh, well, that's going to blow the roof off this place. So like those attacking signs that y'all were saying this kind of when I got on, like there were improvements definitely in some spaces, but the defense sucked last night. It was awful. It
so
was
bad.
so bad.
Yeah.
And you're not going to win. You're not going to win games giving up stuff like that. Now, the third goal, banger, whatever.
yeah.
Defending could have been better, but the
Yeah,
shot itself
absolutely.
was a banger. But yeah, the whole defensive kind of structure was asinine last night.
The question is, does Tata change it? He's stubborn. He's kind of Tommy.
Well,
you
that's what we
shake
keep
your head.
asking him, right?
Yeah.
I feel like every press conference we're asking him, like, does Lucas Hoyos stay in goal? What is going on with Dion Gregerson? what changes are you going to make any changes?
Right.
And the answer is the same. Like, these are my choices. This is who I'm picking. And it kind of doesn't
Shut
go
up,
beyond
Henry.
that.
That's what he's saying to you.
I mean, I'm just saying, this is,
You're asking the right questions, man. Like, it's
Yeah, I mean,
it's the right questions. But the Heron said the same thing to me. You know, when we were bringing Tata back, that he could be very stubborn, late with subs, which we've
we knew
seen.
that already.
Right, but like, I mean, it's he's stubborn here, and I mean, I said this before, like, and it wasn't maybe as dramatic the last 2 games, but like, if Stian doesn't play, like, how bad is he right now?
Yeah.
Or how much, like, what did he do to Tata that was like, you are not going to be able to play because 0 minutes?
I know.
It's insane to me. Absolutely insane that he's not even like that. You're not even bringing him out just to have like even just to get fresh in these couple games when you're down by a couple goals. Like,
Yeah.
he's injury prone, but come on, he is not like that injury prone.
$900,000 to do nothing. I mean, that's a pretty good job, guys. I wish I had that job, but I wrote about it on ScarsandSpecs.com. What's the plan for Stian? What's the plan for Jaden Hibbert? Granted, he started for the
Hibbert!
He started for the twos on Sunday night.
He just had a banger of a game for the twos, by the way.
Good, but what about the
yeah,
first?
but we want him to play for the ones.
Oh, Hibbert played today for the twos?
I'm glad he did.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I'm glad he did, Tyler. But like, what's the plan with them for the first team? And against Stian, $900,000. You have him on the bench, not playing, over or behind Barakal, who you've seen cannot keep up. He just gets beaten for pace by the super draft pick for 2025 Solans. So I don't understand. And you know, we are asking the right questions, but I'm just tired of fans saying, "Why don't you ask them this? Why don't you ask them that?" We are. We can't just keep asking and expect a different answer. Like, what do you want us to do? Just force him to say something? Like, we're doing what we can. The media is doing what we can, and I'm just don't like when fans say, "Oh, you shouldn't ask him this. You shouldn't ask him that." No, our job is ask questions, like to not be your channel for frustration. Not because you're pissed off, you want to vent through us. That's not our job. Our job is to be fair.
I expected you to get on today.
Well, no, I mean, I just see it all the time for it's people that cover the team. When the team sucks, the fans are like, "I'll ask him this. You should ask him that." We're not your channel for frustration. We're here to ask the right questions. We're here to ask the questions that matter. And
hold on, step
maybe
back
we don't
for a
get to the answer. Maybe we don't get your question, but go ahead.
We are. I mean, this is to channel your frustration. Sundays.
This is a therapy session.
Now, if you send us a message that say go to Tata and be like, "What the hell are you thinking, old man?" Like, we might tone it down. We might make it a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me, sir. Why is Mr. Stian, Mr. Hibbert not playing in this game? Please.
And that's
someone said, "Can someone tell Tata to start these guys?" I was like, "I wish I could."
It's not.
I could speak in.
Like, here's the thing.
Oh, you can tell him, but it's his decision. Though.
When we ask these questions, we try to learn as much as possible. We don't do it because we want to like go after someone's job or like Sydney said, like vent our frustrations. We do this because this is a kind of a professional thing. We want to learn as much as we can about this team. And that's where we can do it, is by asking these guys the question, the coach and the players and other sources, kind of these questions. But we're not going to go publicly be like, so how do you feel about being bad at your job? Like, we're not going to go and do something like that, because then
great way to get kicked out.
That partially, but also, I mean, that's just not the right thing to do. I will also add this, by the way, before I kind of we maybe change the direction of this, but. Tata Martino is a manager who has experience in Barcelona, the Argentinian national team, the Mexican national team. All three of those have media that are ruthless, especially in Argentina and Mexico. The media is ruthless.
I'll just
And-
call the coaches right there. You idiot. Idiota.
Like they if he's had to deal with these guys, he's not like he is not going to roll over easily and just like be like he's not going to please the media with his answers necessarily. He's not aiming to please the media.
Yeah.
Will he explain things and will he try to kind of be as professional and courteous as possible? Yes. But he's not going to be afraid or kind of bow down to the media is kind of what what I'm trying to say, because he knows what he can't, what he has to, and what he doesn't have to say. He knows how to kind of craft his messages. He's a professional, and he's been in some of the harshest environments for a soccer coach in the world. And so that's kind of my thing about him. He's a great guy, because I already talked to him a few times. He's a very nice guy. He'll explain things to you. But yeah, he's definitely not the type of guy that you'll find much success with, like going out with like kind of
you're not going to get
pointed questions or anything,
gotcha questions or anything like
exactly.
that. That's not what's going to happen. Now I will say this, Tata, like to your point, Tata will sometimes he'll almost over explain things. Like last night is a perfect example. There were some questions that he was asked and he would give like a short, quick answer, like off the cuff. And then he would sit there in silence for a second and he would give like a much more detailed answer. But the one thing that I mentioned it last night on our takeaways video, but sometimes things that the camera doesn't catch. I am not a big fan of encouraging people to read too much into what's said or how it's said or body language. But sometimes those are factors to consider. And I will say last night, and this is me talking, me being there in the press conference room and seeing the way that Tata came in, handled himself, what he kind of said when he was asked about the center back pairing of Enia Mihai and Juan Bericall. And his answer, if you just look at the quote, was that's the duo that I picked. But the way that he came in and the way that he said that and his body language very much felt like I'm going to give the political answer because I'm not going to call out anybody by name. That's not the type of guy that Tata is.
Yeah.
But you could tell he was disappointed. And he even mentioned like that they have to work on this. He said the attack got better over last week, much better. There was a lot of improvement, but now we have to work on this defensive thing that happened. And so it's not like he just came out and said the words, in this game, Juan Bericall actually was really bad, straight up. He's not going to do that.
Ronnie would.
I don't even know that Ronnie would, but maybe.
Can I jump in though and say real quickly, that reminds me so much of when we had Marcelo Balboa on the podcast last year after the Ronnie, the players are soft comment. And I asked him about that. And he said, right, as a coach, you admonish in private and in public, you defend these players as much as you can.
Yeah.
But like the corrections and the kind of critiques, that has to happen behind closed doors, or you're going to just destroy these players' morale, and that locker room is not going to last.
Yeah, he said it
the moment he called them soft.
Yeah, I'll just say this. Sorry, I'll just say this quickly. He said, our job is to protect the players, and it's sort of going back to your point, Henry, about the way you talk to players in public to the media versus how you talk to them in the locker room. I bet he gave the team, Henry, Tyler, Tommy, the hairdryer treatment afterwards, because I'll tell you this is the first time where media relations has directed us to go to the locker room before Tata comes in, because we were told, Tata's running a little late, the locker room's open. So that tells you something was up. But then right as he said that, Johannes, right as he said that, Tata came in. So that's a little weird, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, you got to expect. And then the way that Tata came into the press conference room, he very much was given, I mean, his facial expressions and gestures, he was just like, like you could tell he just got done having a moment.
Yeah.
And who all that moment was directed at, I don't know. And part of it might have just been him sitting in his office right outside the locker room, just trying to take a minute. It could have been a lot of things. but he came in late to the press conference room, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. It's the third game of the season, and then for Tata to then talk about, you know, look at my track record, as if Atlanta 1.0 wasn't good enough, but look at what I went to Miami and did. And he goes, I told them 2 transfer windows is what I need. And within 2 transfer windows, we won the Supporter Shield. And then that project continued on after I left. And the next year they went and won the championship with a different coach. He believes in what he is building here. And he said it multiple times. I'm confident it's going to work. But as he said in his very first press conference, the fans are going to have to be patient. And admittedly, fans, nobody wants to hear that because it's been a long time.
Exactly.
It's been a long time.
How patient do you want the fans to be?
Well, I mean, and I think he knows that, but he also got thrown into this crap sandwich that he's having to help deal with.
He didn't get thrown in anything. He signed the contract. Don't give me that shit.
No.
It's a terrible situation to walk
That's
into.
a crappy situation, but at the same time, you come back, and because it's a place that you love, it's a place that you enjoyed the first time around, like, you don't just say no just to say no. Like, he still got thrown into it. It wasn't like he had all this extra money in the first season when we were an expansion team, and he could just make it work. He's having to unscrew a lot of screw, and that's where we're at.
Yeah, but I go back to the question. You know, he said he gave the example with Miami, you know, and Derek said in the chat, you know, it's easy with Messi, but they didn't always have Messi, right? And the team sucked, for better or for worse. Well, actually, they did, but you know, he said, you know, we lost Atlanta in the playoffs, but we didn't win the Supporter Shield. I left. They brought in a new coach. You saw what happened in 2025. They won MLS Cup. So I get what he's saying. Get what he's, you know, he's standing behind the project. He said, I believe in this project. It's going to take a couple of transfer windows for us to get the roster where it needs to be. But how many times, guys, have we heard it's going to take 2 transfer windows, 3 transfer windows? Fans are just sick of it. They don't want to wait any more transfer windows. They just want the stupid thing fixed, like yesterday. And we're not seeing any progress. I think that's the most frustrating thing for fans, is to not see that progress and then be told, oh, it's going to take another 2 transfer windows. I know in Tata we trust in all of that, but if he's not careful, he can really risk losing the goodwill he got with fan base in 2017 and 2018.
I also think Tata kind of knows the meme at this point of 2 to 3 transfer windows, because he was asked, I think Doug asked him, like, so how many transfer windows away is Atlanta? And he said, I haven't started counting. So it was a nice little way of kind of dodging the question. But yeah, I mean, look, my faith in Tata is not shaken necessarily, because this is look, we did not expect this to be Tata enters and instantly Atlanta United is an MLS Cup contender.
Yeah,
we knew there were going to be bumps because he was inheriting a fundamentally flawed roster. Because while Ronny Deila certainly had an effect in 2025, the players also weren't great. Let's be real. Even the 3 DPs are not great. And when your big money players are not producing, that's grounds for things to go wrong. And again, we talk about the defenders, the back line. The center back pairing came in the summer. And honestly, to me, they're not really an upgrade over the young players that were in their place before. It's just there is so much to fix for this team. And Tata has had one window so far where he has brought in, what is it, like 3-4 players? Yeah. Most of which, maybe one you could argue has not been great, but most of them, for me so far, they look solid.
They've been dynamic for sure. And I think, yeah, like it reminds me of the same thing that Garth said when the year after he first got here in the offseason. He came in and he said, I don't think it was on a stream, but he was talking to us after, and he said, you know, it's one thing when you are looking at a job, right? And you are put in this position where you're kind of aware of like the roster and the budget and the salary and things like that. But you're not privileged to the details of that information until you're part of the club, because there's privacy and all that kind of stuff related to it. And he said, like, when he actually got the job and stepped into that office and started looking at the way the salary was and the roster was and everything else, he was like, oh, oh, this is gonna take some fixing. And in a way, I kind of feel like Tata is experiencing the same thing because of his predecessor. And Tata is a consummate professional. He's not going to come out and be like, Ronnie Dyla F the club, like at all. Like there's blame to go around. Tata's not going to call anybody out. But I think he's realizing like this might take a little bit more than I initially expected. And that's fair. But he's the main one I think you could pick and say he's got a proven track record of being able to unscrew a lot of screw. And so that doesn't help anybody right now in terms of being like, you just go win a freaking game and like get fans excited again. But I am glad he is the one that is in this position at the moment. And there's a lot of blame to go around before it ever starts to really land on Tata.
I mean, but we've been questioning things. We've been questioning.
Yeah.
I mean, Stian not playing here. Hibbert didn't even really get an opportunity to like go into like a preseason competition against an older guy that's coming off a major injury. Like that still doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry, and it's not that I think that Hibbert is the best goalkeeper in MLS, but I mean he obviously was able to play consistently, stay healthy, had some fantastic performances. I mean, was praised, nationally across. I mean, about just him being great at the end there. I'm being on such a terrible team, and he doesn't even get an opportunity. Like if I'm Hibbert, I'm upset, and like I understand there's a point where like you're young, you should know your place. That it's going to take some time here, but you did it. You did it at the MLS level. You did it consistently. You made some fantastic saves. So like. I understand what you're saying, Tyler, that like this isn't all on Tata here, but I mean we are questioning him on some things at this moment that are very frustrating here. And I understand it's game 3 and there, but like Zilf I think tweeted it out yesterday. I saw one of them. It's like it's just been a long time. I mean, we haven't won an MLS game in what 9? I think he said 9 or some games like that.
Just Nashville.
9 months.
Oh man. Yeah. I guess I had too much to drink last night. So if that's it, I mean, it's just it's so bad that we can't even really get like a performance out there that is decent here. And like I tweeted yesterday, this seems worse than last year. That first half was worse than a lot of what we saw last year because I mean, every time they got the ball, it was just them back in their own half, just passing it back and forth. Nobody was open. Nobody was moving. Nobody was willing to make the move. And then it's going back to Hoyos. And I'm just going, oh my God. Like there's going to be a play that's going to happen before Hibbert takes over. This is my fan fiction where it's going to be passing back to him. And the pass is going to go bad. And it's just going to be a tap in for someone because I mean, we talked about it in Cincinnati about how scary he was in that game. And it was scary there because this team just can't get the ball out of their own half at all.
You guys see, what's his name? Ethan Horvath earlier with Red Bulls and that loss to FC Cincinnati, Montreal. It's that same situation. We're playing it.
Montreal won a game.
Montreal won 3-0.
Montreal won before Atlanta United in 2026. So what a fever dream.
So Michael Bradley is now a fraud. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. It's 3 games. Too early. Shall we hit the promos real quick, guys, before we continue on?
Yeah, let's all calm down. Let's refresh.
Let's take a breath. ScarsandSpikes.com, your home for Atlanta United analysis, insight, opinion. We were all over the match last night with our coverage. Tyler and I did our 3 takeaways, recaps, Tyler's first reaction. All of that is on ScarsandSpikes.com. My column from Sunday morning this morning is up there too. So for all the latest Atlanta United news, analysis, and opinion, you can go to ScarsandSpikes.com. Please support us on Patreon. It helps us.
Coming out soon too.
Tuesday's article coming out soon, apparently. This just in. Patreon.com/ScarsandSpikes. That is the best way to support what we are doing at Scars and Spikes. We are an independent outlet. We don't have a major company backing us yet. But no, we're independent. It's just a group of people in Atlanta, Ohio, South Carolina that run this thing, and we don't have that endless amount of money that major media outlets do. So please consider becoming a Patreon backer. Patreon.com/Scarves and Spikes. You get training ground updates. You get mailbag episodes for Patreon backers only. You get access to our Discord channel. You get all kinds of great benefits, merchandise discounts at our store. Patreon.com/Scarves and Spikes. We have 2 tiers, $5 and $10. Support us either way, and help us.
Discord?
I did mention that.
Did you say Discord? Okay.
But yes.
And rants. I'm doing
and
the
rants.
rant this week. No one's stealing it from me.
Unfiltered,
Whatever,
segment,
rant, whatever it is. I'm doing it because I
what is it
traveled
a
that
rant
far.
about?
Well, I'm going to rant about the Hilton in this thing. I got Hilton stories. I didn't have air condition. The brisket sandwich is
To
gone.
be fair,
And
to be fair,
Kevin from
wasn't the
Charlotte.
Hilton-
Oh,
you didn't stay at a Hilton?
it was a Hilton.
Is it
They're
really?
owned by Hilton. The American
all right,
is
carry
owned
on.
by,
My bad.
owned by-
Own
okay.
every hotel.
no air condition. And then I go to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and I don't believe Kevin from Charlotte. He says the brisket sandwich existed there. I found both the press stands. There was a roast beef sandwich
They took out
and
the
then
menu.
a regular roast beef grilled cheese. That was there. Tina
They
got
also
that.
didn't have pretzels last night, according to my sons.
No
I got
pretzels.
a pretzel.
Did you really? Oh my god! Okay, they're gonna be pissed because they're.
I was on
watching.
the 300s though. The
Okay,
pretzels
that's
are only
cool.
for the high club. You got to go up there and
Yeah.
have it. But yeah, there was no brisket grilled cheese. So I'm up there, and I found another one of the press places up there, and I run into this guy, and he just starts yelling at me. He goes, "They don't have any brisket grilled cheese." And I was like, this guy's my guy. I'm like, I know. I had like a regular grilled cheese in my hand already. And he goes, "You maybe want to get the brisket grilled cheese." I'm like, oh shit, he listens to the podcast. And I talked it up, and then people can't find it
You
anywhere.
suck.
Tommy
And then
Curtis.
they come over, and he's like introducing me to his family, and his wife grew up like 25 minutes from me, and it was
Oh,
like
that's cool.
the small world briskets, Ohio, Scarves and Spikes, global.
Yeah.
We're global in Ohio and Atlanta. I'm gonna rant about my entire trip.
Well, I'm sorry about the brisket sandwich. I do apologize about that.
It was the air conditioning, Sydney. It was
And
the air conditioning, the no towels when I got back from the room. It was raining. The rain was everywhere. And look,
what's the flight at least good?
the flight was fine.
Good.
The flight was there. But I'll tell you, these new kits in the rain, it just goes right through. It's like you're shirtless. It just goes right in.
The rain was.
These are the things I think about there.
We were trying to do our takeaways video last night, and I kept turning around because I was like, "What is that noise? Is that rain?" Like turn
Yeah.
around, and it sounded just like a roar. And then I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we just wait it out, right?" I didn't look at the radar, and then we got down to leave, like coming out of the field level, and I was like, "Oh no, it's like raining. It is monsooning."
Mm.
It's
was
weird because
bad.
when I was walking out of the parking deck, it was Jackson and I because we carpooled to the game.
Yeah.
And when we walked out of the stadium, it was fine. It wasn't raining. It was normal. And so we got to the car, and then as we drive out of the garage, it is freaking falling, dude. It is pouring. I was like, where did this come from? I was just glad we were in the car.
Yeah. At least we're indoors, right? At Mercedes-Benz. At least not Bobby Dodd. Like remember that game in 2017. But
Imagine not having an indoor stadium.
It is. I mean, that's nice, but then when you go out
Yeah.
there, it's like, oh, this is terrible, and it just wouldn't stop. We
Yeah.
tried to take an Uber to our hotel room, and like it was like right just to see what it was after the game. It was like, Tyler, what is it, like 6 blocks away, 7 blocks away,
Yeah, roughly.
Oh,
somewhere on
close.
there. $128 they were trying to
Oh,
charge.
gosh.
Yo, are you serious?
Yeah,
Holy-
it was
the
on
surge
Uber. I was like
pricing.
looking at. I go, oh my god! And then eventually we waited out. We went upstairs to the Reverb, did some drinks there, and then it was $20, $20 to get there. But that was $20 is more than fine than walking, 7-8 blocks and
Yeah, but not
terrible rain. Oh,
128. That's insane, dude.
Uber charges exorbitant prices for drives in the rain.
Mm.
You know who else charges exorbitant prices? River Plate for players. They're trying to charge a lot for Matias Galarza.
Segue.
It ended up being a little loan move. He was announced, what was it, like a week
Monday.
ago or
Monday.
something like that?
Yeah, it was like Monday.
And then he was available for this game. We saw his first few minutes. What do you guys think about Matias Galarza's first few minutes with the Five Stripes?
Those legs, man, you could tell it by his legs. I saw someone posted a picture of him, and they're like, "All right, yeah, these are some nice calves there." So first off, great physique, but a minute in, you could already tell that the guy's got talent. Now, we said that about Tristan Mayumba as well. We've said that about a lot of guys that have come in.
Start with this.
We said that about Silva. We said it about Saba. But for a half, it looked pretty damn good.
He played a pass, and it was so underrated. I tweeted it out when it happened, but he played a pass to Latte Lath that was sublime. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. And unfortunately, the end result was not much of anything because the first touch ended up being really bad. But like, I mean, this was like almost midfield to the top of the box, and it split two defenders, and it was right to Latte. I mean, it was a beautiful ball, and it was just like little simple things like that. But then his ability to get up and down the field and be unafraid to just crash the box, like I'm like, this is the aggression I've been waiting for. So yeah, 30 minutes. If you can give me 30, 45 more of that, like, and build on it, let's go. I liked everything I saw.
So what does the midfield look like when Galarza, we talked about it yesterday, Galarza's not even fit. What's the midfield look like?
So many combinations right now.
Yeah, I know.
It's gotta be.
You could even throw Pedro Amador in there. I wish you would throw Pedro Amador in
there.
Out of there. But you have too many options, really. But I mean, if you really believe in El Zate, he's not coming out of the lineup. I mean, if you really believe in William Ba,
it's got to be Jay when he comes back, Tristan Mayumba right now, and
Galarza.
Yeah, it's got to be those three. In my
Zate's odd man out, then you say?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, bench him, dude.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, he was better in this match, I will say, than the prior two, but it's just not been. It's not been dynamic enough. It's not been quick enough. He did a little bit better of a job, kind of getting into the attack and getting a little bit more involved, but like, it hasn't been what it needs to be, in my opinion.
I think Alzate was, as far as his passing vision, it was better in this game than the last one, but he is still so slow on the ball, man. Like, I feel like it takes him forever to think about what he's going to do with the ball. He has to get the ball and then think about kind of the next move. And while he's doing this whole mental calculus of what comes next, well, all of a sudden your opponents are getting back, setting up their defense, and then you've killed pretty much any chance you have of hitting them quickly. And that's what's doing a lot of damage to this team going forward. So for me personally, that's why I wrote about him in my risers and fallers last week. I don't know if I'm going to include him in this week's column, but stay tuned. But that's my thing with him. It's like there are times where you could see that on the ball, on the dribble, he's good, he's decent.
Yeah.
But he needs to be that much quicker with it, because if not, it's not going to count for anything, because you're going to start to get surrounded by defenders. You're just going to start to get pressed and boxed in. And that's where you lose the ball, or you have to go back, and then everything you did just doesn't count for anything.
I think that if it is Alzate, I mean, it's a little bit more of a better pill to swallow since he isn't your guy in the first place. I mean, none of them really, outside of a few people, are Tata's guys. But
how long is he signed through?
Right, exactly.
I was gonna. No, really. What is the answer? What is the answer, guys? Is it 2031?
2030.
2030. But I mean, it's a 2029-30 season. I assume it is. But my point is, he's brought in to be a long-term solution. And
why?
I don't know why they signed up that long. I mean, it wasn't like
A long-term
Dyla-
solution for Ronnie Dyla.
It was Ronnie Dyla's guy
was
when
never
we were
going to be
terrible.
here until 2030. No, I agree. Dyla is never going to be here in 2030. So why sign him that long in the first place? Like
We didn't know if he'd make it till October.
Right. Yeah.
And they signed this guy until the world ends.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just another misstep by this front office from a contractual standpoint. Like, that's a long time. It's a very, very long time. I don't think you've signed a player that long to that long of a contract in your club's history. But now that we're talking about you having to part ways with him because he doesn't fit into Tata Martino's plans when Galarza gets 90 minutes fit. I mean,
Galarza was phenomenal though. I know that was like how this conversation started, but he was like by far the brightest spot of the night. And again, it's 30 minutes, but instantly, and I think it's really safe to say, he slots right in, not just because he looked really good, but Tata clearly rates this guy pretty high, or they wouldn't have taken so much to go after him. And I feel like the loan was a way to go ahead and try to get him here to Atlanta, and then they can figure out the rest of the financial situation in the summer.
Are we back to that our general manager can't get guys and we have to rely on Tata to get all of our talent? Are we back? Are we back to 2019 or 2017 and 2018 where it's just Tata has to bring in all the good guys and the general managers just whiff on everyone else? I mean, I'm having questions about just the last couple of years in general with Garth and Chris. I mean, they worked together for a little bit there together, and then I know Garth got sick, and then Chris took over, and Garth came back, and then Chris took over again. Like, these contracts, especially those, I mean, like, I look at that one and just remember seeing the length, and then just saying, you know, Ronnie Dyla really values him, and then you see the length and go, at that time, we knew that Ronnie Dyla wasn't going to be making it very far. I mean, that was in not a good time with there. It was already bad. And you sign him for that long. Now, I know you could buy him out and it makes it a little bit easier in the end of things because you got two. Like if it was one right now, I think this team would be in a lot of trouble as far as rebuilding right now. But maybe they just did that so that they, you know, knew that they've got two buyouts. So if it goes bad, but man, I'm telling you, it's the decisions by this team over the last few years have just been real troubling. But all the Tata things are working out, which is great. He's here.
Yeah.
But man.
I mean, to be fair, if you look down the list, you look at Tata's quote unquote players. Baez has looked good. Wasn't too impressed with him in some spells last night. Jakob certainly has looked terrific at the 6. I think he did a good job at right back. Hoyos obviously is the big question mark. Now Galarza, who very small sample size, right? 30 minutes, but you know, he looked good in the time that he was out there for Sanchez in the second half. So, you know, you start to see, if you want some optimism, start to see that Tata, the players that Tata has brought in, the players that he signed up on outside of Hoyos, have done a good job. Like, for now at least. But though I know you're kind of rolling your eyes, but
no, you just said Hoyos, and like every time now, it's just like blah, blah, blah.
I get visceral reaction.
I can't every time now.
Announced.
So the couple that we went to the game with, she said to us, she's like, that bald guy last year, he's old, right? And I go, yeah. And she goes, but he was good. And I was like, yeah, he was all right. And she goes, this new guy sucks. That, you know, that's her 90 minutes of soccer that she watches a year. Yeah. But I mean, spot on. Doesn't
You know what's crazy about Hoyos though? Last night that
everything.
I mean, yeah, I won't say the comment that I made in the press box, but
I will.
I think what's crazy is his defense in front of him was atrocious. But the whole, again, I said it, the whole defensive organization was bad, and that starts with him. But it wasn't so much the goals. Like the second one pissed me off because you got beat at the near post, but the where the shot was placed was pretty solid. It would have been tough, but still, you got to do better. It was the mistakes later on in the match, like throwing the ball directly to an RSL player from your own box. It was like simple stuff like that. I mean, it was like straight to the guy. And I get what he was trying to do. He's trying to split the defender, or not even defenders, split the midfielders and go. But I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like you've got to, your reaction time has got to be better. It just was not good.
They
just were on the same page.
Yeah.
They weren't.
Yeah. I was just gonna say he looks just so uncomfortable with the ball at his feet, like pretty much the entire match.
And that's
You guys told me that was what he was good at in the preseason.
I didn't sell you anything.
Not you.
We said his distribution was good. All right.
Well, and no, and didn't you come back from Texas and tell us this?
No, Hibbert played in Texas. You're making stuff up.
No. Someone told me that his distribution was amazing.
Okay, that was probably me. But it
probably
was, to be fair,
I knew it was one of you.
It was in that Lexington game where he played some dimes in that game.
Okay, played Normandy High School that week. Who cares?
Dog, I'm telling you.
All right,
His
Lexington.
distribution
You call me
didn't
Doug?
go anywhere.
Dog. Match 3.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
I knew one of you told me how great he was.
I didn't tell you he was
I didn't
great.
say
I told you
that.
his distribution was good. I never told you he was going to be an all-star.
I've seen zero distribution to this guy. He's
up, Clemon
he's
Diop.
literally throwing away my joy to watch this team right now. That's what he's doing. The little baby passes back and forth to each other where someone's gonna steal it.
I get it. It does feel like he thinks he has more time than he actually does, and it ends up really backfiring on him sometimes. But
One instance too. That really happened.
I mean, here's the thing, right? Tata is sticking by him, and I don't personally. If it comes to shot stopping, I'm taking Jaden Hibbert based on what we saw last season. I don't understand, but Tata is going to stick by him. There's no way. It would take something. Honestly, I don't even know what it would take for Tata to kind of bench Hoyos and start Jaden Hibbert. It would take a calamity, or it would take it would take an injury for Hibbert to then come in, have an amazing game, and then Hoyos just never plays again.
So what do you do with Hibbert?
Sounds
then?
good
You
to
can't
me.
just Give him to the twos. No, you can't just keep Hibbert with the twos like all season long. If you think he has the future, you have to get him some playing time outside of the twos, right? If it's a loan or something, well, it has to be a loan.
No.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
No,
If you
no.
want him,
Just
if you think he's the future, hold on. If you think he's the future, you
Willing to buy
gotta
to Montreal.
do something to him. You gotta do something with him. You can't just stick with the twos against less than first team competition, right? Go ahead.
Loans are where the players go to leave forever on Atlanta United.
Not always.
It is so.
Not always.
I mean, what is it? An 85, 90%? See you later. Never clear your locker out. You're never coming back.
It
I
took
mean, that's
Mascara
usually
3
how it
loans to
feels with
leave.
this team.
If that makes you feel any better.
But my point is, though, you have to find somewhere to put him and not just stick him on the twos like match after match. And yes, I'm glad he had a good performance with the twos, but I mean, he's outgrown the twos. He doesn't belong with the twos. He belongs playing first team soccer, whether that's with another USL championship team like last year or just something else. You got to find a place for him where he can start consistently, because with the twos, I mean, you're having to look at Ransom, you're having to look at Donaldson. So those should be your two keepers with the twos. But you have to give Hibbert first team soccer somewhere if he's not going to get with Atlanta.
It just frustrates me that whenever we ask Tata about this, he keeps referring to Jaden Hibbert as the goalkeeper of the future. He needs to develop. Jaden needs to develop. He's the goalkeeper of the future. It's like he's saying he's not ready, and yet we saw him for, what was it, like 9 or 10 games last season, show that broken ball in MLS. Like, maybe he doesn't have the level of distribution or the leadership aspect that you're looking for, but he can block shots. He can save goals. Isn't that what you're paying a goalkeeper to do at the end of the day? Isn't that
Yeah.
what their main function?
It's a lot harder to defend the decision because Oyos is just not playing well. You know, like it would be one thing if it was like, all right, everybody wants to see Hibbert play because everybody's rooting for him. He's, kind of come up through the pipeline to a degree, had a really good end of season last year, blah, blah, blah. But Lucas Orios, sorry, that was my Stella reference. Lucas
Oreo.
Lucas Oreo. But like Oyos is if he were playing well, you could have that argument. But he just isn't playing well. And I will give it that for sure.
No.
Tata Martino, you said it, Henry or Sydney last night. Tata Martino has forgotten more about soccer than we'll probably ever know. And we are not there 24/7 at the training ground seeing everything that's going on. However, we are there watching every one of these games and seeing the mistakes that are made and watching the twos games and seeing how Hibbert's played over the past couple of seasons there and then last year and tonight. And it's like, give him a run. Just let him have at it. Let him have at it. I'm rooting for this kid to be the guy that sticks around Atlanta for years. I hope that's what happens. And develop him. But right now, dude, you're 0-3.
No.
It's not going to hurt. I mean, it might hurt Oyos' confidence a little bit.
Well, he's
Screw
36.
that. He's
I
he's
don't
had
know.
a good career. He's not like screw that.
Yeah.
Henry coming in ruthless.
Yeah. We haven't even, and Daniel's saying in the chat, Oyos is like Onana from Man U. Tommy is a Man U supporter, knows full
I
well
mean,
about
it's a
Andre
little.
Onana.
That's a pretty good comparison.
We haven't even really talked about Moranchuk that much this episode. Again,
The only
best
good
match
player.
in letting the uniform. No, get on him. And I said it yesterday, I think through takeaways or doing takeaways. How many times have we seen Moranchuk have a good performance and then look like crap the next match? Like he has to be able to now stack these good performances on top of each other, on top of each other, on top of each other now, because two goals, a brace one match, and then being invisible the next match isn't going to cut it. How many times have we seen, again, Moranchuk put a stretch of games together, then just do nothing after that? Hopefully this is a new leaf. Hopefully the third coach that he's played for can finally get the best out of him. Outside of that, it was a good performance tonight or last night. Man of the match, of course, by any stretch of the imagination. Again, hopefully it's not just a blip, but something that we could look forward to with Alexi the remainder of the season, guys.
You're right. I mean, you take what his first start, 2 goals, great. Let's see what you do. Let's see what you. I mean, again, like he's scoring the goals. That really wasn't what he was brought in for. It was to help set up your big
Someone knows.
your big striker, and that's and Saba and Luke and I guess Miguel Almiron as well. Like he was brought in to help these guys out, and he's the one. I mean, that's why I want to ask that question like almost every week is like, if you have a buyout and you have to buy out one DP, who's it going to be? I think I might have been the only one last week to change it from Alexi to I changed it to Miggy last week. But I mean, it's Alexi is the only one that's shown his worth really here. And like you said, Sydney, if you need to figure out who's going to be here long term. And this is really like a big season for it. Points for Alexi right now. If you can only buy out 2 DPs. So if right now he's safe. He's got the rose for this week. I think you get the rose if you're safe.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So he's got
or
the rose.
near if you're this is the Bachelorette.
Okay. Well, whichever it is, he is safe right now. And the first 2 games, Tata said he was injured. You know, he only wanted to play him for a little bit. His first start, fantastic. And he's got to build on it, and hopefully he can help the other guys gain some of their confidence as well.
The team's looked at its best when Alexei Miranchuk is on the field this season. And that's kind of ironic that I'm saying it because last season I was one of the guys that really wanted them to buy him out. But
We
yeah,
all
I
were.
mean, but here's the thing. If he's performing excellent, if Tata has truly found kind of the best position for him, that's a good thing. And I think Alexei can definitely be a serviceable DP in MLS. And I think we had this conversation in the Discord. He could probably be that on a team where he's not the guy, like the best DP. If he's the third best DP on a team, then he's probably a very serviceable guy.
Yeah.
But right now he's being asked to do a lot because Latte Lot was almost invisible in this game.
Again.
Yes. Miggy, he did some things, but his decision making puzzled me at times as well. Because whereas last season he really hesitated to take any shots from distance, last night that's all he wanted to do. He had a few times where he had space to dribble in a little bit closer and kind of take these guys on and get closer to goal. And he decided to just blast it from freaking 30 yards out. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
You had a solid run. You had more options. You had runners. Like, you don't have to take the shot from there. But yeah, it's kind of things like that in the performance. I just hope we could see Alexei continue to be more consistent with these kinds of performances.
Yeah. And Derek kind of said it here too. Like, the team looking their best is relative right now, for sure. Like, Alexei Miranchuk, though, I think he is at his best playing for this team when he is kind of like making the late run into the box. I've said it multiple times since yesterday, but when he's making that late run into the box, he kind of is there to pick up the rebounds or, you know, the loose balls or whatever, because he's clinical at putting those away. He always has been. I wish he would take a couple more shots from outside the box because he's been pretty freaking good with those too. He took one early last night, missed it by a couple of feet maybe. But look, if Alexei's growing in confidence, it's good for Atlanta United. And I would argue Miggy had a little bit more confidence, at least in the first half last night. Like, he was definitely trying some more things. He looked better than he did the prior week. If I'm going to pick on a DP last night, it was definitely Latte Loth. I just thought he was invisible, like you said.
Yeah.
And now, granted, he gets the assist on one of the goals, but like that's you popping up for one moment, and I'm glad it was that moment. But like, there's so many other opportunities where he just had to be that $22 million player that he was signed to be, and he hasn't been that yet. And so, you've got to start letting him loose, letting him be the speedy guy that he is. And they were trying to play him in. Some through balls were happening. The ideas were there. They just weren't quite clicking yet. But Alexei Miranchuk, I thought, was enjoyable. And I would like to see him still get more involved overall. But I thought this was one of his better matches, not just because of the 2 goals, but I thought this was one of his better matches, actually, since he got to Atlanta.
Who sent in the pass to Latte Lot that led to the goal from Miranchuk? Was it William Ba?
Yep,
So William Ba should get the
way
secondary
down.
assist. So I feel like William Ba did all the leg work there. You know, Latte Lot just happened to get the primary assist on that one.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
I hated Miyamba most of the game, to be honest with you. Before that,
Man, I got cooked last night. I thought Miyamba was the best player on the pitch last night.
We need
Well,
to
so
make this
does
a thing, by the
Miranchuk.
way. This
There was a
comment by
play.
Huncho Dev, we need to make this a
Yeah.
bit.
we're
Each
I
week
mean,
on
you-
the show, which DPs are we giving the rose?
Yeah.
damn, I'm gonna go buy roses now. Okay,
Right.
challenge accepted. Tyler, there was a part where I saw Miyamba just like run, like just run into a guy. Like he was gonna, like Brooks Lennon,
Oh,
you know, like
look at
Brooks
that.
Lennon last year, like just kept trying to run through every player, like it was a glitched video game. I just saw Miyamba just run into this dude for absolutely no reason, and then I was like, yep, Miyamba can go. That was
Yeah.
that was the last straw. I was like, dude, you don't have invisibility. You can't go through. Like you can't walk through walls or players. I was just not happy with just him at all. I again, maybe it was you guys that set up the expectations, not you, Tyler, but you relaying of what Tata was saying about how great Miyamba had been in the preseason. Then he doesn't start for a couple
Actually,
games,
that
even
was
though
all me.
he
I'll claim that one. I thought Miyamba was by far the best midfielder that I saw in the preseason in the 2 matches that we got to watch.
But best is relative.
I know.
Yeah, what is best?
But
it's only week 3.
look, I just thought he played a lot more dynamic, and I think a lot of people are like upset because of his defensive aspect, and I'm like, you shouldn't be relying on Tristan Miyamba to be your number 6. You shouldn't be. I'm sorry, and I know people tend to look at him that way. Tristan Miyamba is much better when he's able to focus and play the ball forward, when he is a little bit more of an 8 than anything. And
So who plays the 6?
I don't even care anymore, man. Don't play a 6. I could care less.
Somebody.
I'm tired of guessing who's going to play the 6. I don't care if you put a cone out there. Just let the other 2 midfielders do the job and get a back line that can keep, 3 goals from going in, and you'll be okay. You'll
I think
make
Barricall should be the number 6.
You put a cone that just has a sign that says Eric Remetti here.
Jeff Larunowitz come back.
Yeah.
Why is it every player we talk about, it plays a different position than what we want them to? Every player every guy on this team, just put Hibbert replace Hibbert and Latte Lath, and let's just see what happens.
Hibbert the striker, exactly.
Everybody's there. Oh, let's put a Brom in the midfield. Oh, Miyamba's really good at the 8. Where did he play last night? The 6. Alexi, is he the 10? Is he on the left? Is he on the right? Is Saba on the left or the right? Is Miggy the 10? Is Miggy on the right? We're an hour and 8 minutes talking about this. We are filibustering this. This podcast is now going until next Saturday, until the next start, until we get Tata to go on top of Mercedes-Benz Stadium and letting us know that Stian and Hibbert are starting. I'll take the night shift. You guys
You can
get the
do
morning.
that. I have a day job to get to. I'm sure Tyler does as well.
I mean, I can make it where we can take shifts. I like the shift idea. 6 hours each. We're locked in. Let's go.
Right. What else, guys? I mean, we talked about Moranchuk. We had talked about the back line. We talked about Hoyos not being good. I mean, what else are we missing? Atlanta losing a 3rd match in a row to start the season. At least they scored. But I guess what else are we missing this episode?
No, I feel like we've hit it all. Kudos to the fans again, for real, for showing out. Like it's still, I mean, look, the results suck on the pitch, really is rough, but I say it every year. Don't ever take it for granted. I don't ever take it for granted being able to go there and enjoy games. Like it's so much fun. It's a lot more fun when they win. Yeah, but it's such a fun place to go and be around these people, these relationships that everybody's built over the years. Like at least you still have that for sure.
Dude, and the tailgate was awesome. It was freaking vibing. Like, shout out to La Doce, by the way, because they had some of the really good music going on. I especially like that. And shout out to the Atlanta United Fan TV folks. We were kind of hanging out with them. I kicked their butt at Bino. We had a ton of fun and just seeing some of the folks that we interact with over Discord and on our social media feeds, and that are watching this show and are putting their comments in the chat. And it's great to kind of see your faces and kind of put a face to the name. You know what I'm saying? So it was great seeing some of the guys that we saw. If we saw you guys, great seeing you guys. Hopefully we'll see you guys more in the future as well. And this was a fun tailgate, fun experience. The tailgate was the best part of the game. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Quick shout out to Nerdy Soccer Dion for making the trip. It's his first Atlanta United match, so we got to hang out with him. But give Dion a follow at Nerdy Soccer on all social media platforms on YouTube. Look him up. He does watch alongs for MLS matches, also college soccer matches as well. I found so support his channel. Give him a follow. Of course, on YouTube, subscribe to him, like his content, and then at Nerdy Soccer on all social media platforms. So good to see Dion in person.
this comment here, I lost 0-3 at bingo yesterday.
That confused me too.
I messaged Tyler and said, "Where are you?"
Yeah.
Or no, was it you, or maybe it was
was-
my wife. It was you.
It was me, yeah.
He goes,
knows?
"I'm at the bingo. I'm playing bingo." You don't understand how excited I got that bingo was being played at the tailgate. I love going to bingo. I beat church ladies at bingo. I don't regret it. I looked everywhere for bingo. I went around the entire thing, and then finally found him. It was very sad.
We should do that.
Sorry you're let down, Tom.
Play bingo.
Like,
Oh,
it's
we
a
should
show.
we should make an
bingo.
Atlanta United
No-
bingo
no
card for a
brisket sandwich.
game. We could do that.
Yeah.
Real quick. So Atlanta United actually had a stand down there, and they were playing a little game, and I think Henry and Tyler were there to witness the math that I was doing, but it had every single year and it said who scored Atlanta United's first goal.
Mhm.
And the one I remembered was Aruju right at the beginning of the game, and then he got hurt. But then
Yeah.
so I thought I was so proud that I remembered it. However, then he said, "But what year was it?" And the backwards math that I had to do, I was like, "What year do we start the podcast?" Tyler tells me 23, and I go, "But Spaces, what year do we start Spaces?" He goes 22, and I'm like, "Well, I met Sydney and Tyler at that game, so then it was 22." And that's how I met your mother and got the question right.
Congratulations.
I was so proud. But then like everyone was like
Years were turning.
cheering me, they're happy. But do you know what I won, Sydney?
What did you win?
Not a damn thing.
You won.
I
bragging
thought
rights.
I thought I was gonna get like my name next to it or something. And then they were like, "Oh, you got to fill out this thing to see who is gonna score the first goal." Even Tina said, she was like, "I was gonna pick Alexi," and I was like, "Me too." But my dumbass wrote Jurgen Damm on it and just put it in there because I wanted someone to open it, and I think I wrote Scars and Spikes. So
Yeah.
we might have a reputation wherever that is, but yeah. I did pee next to a guy with a Jurgen Damm jersey, and I usually don't talk to people in the bathrooms, but I did. I was like, "That's an amazing jersey, friend."
In the bin.
I think
Okay.
at the Benz, not in the porta potty. We
Okay.
weren't in,
I was
we were in
like,
the same
hold
porta
up.
potty
Yeah,
together.
tight squeeze.
Wait a minute.
No,
Where is this show gone, man?
it's only week 3. This is what happens. You guys start a podcast at 9:00 and ask me to show up. I'm full of Texas Roadhouse and White Claws.
I'm sure. MLS Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, X, and Instagram. Join us there as we look back at week 3 of MLS action, including CF Montreal beating Red Bulls for their first win of the season. Join us there. Of course, we're back Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube to talk about LA United versus the Philadelphia Union. Hopefully, Atlanta United can finally win a game next week, guys. It's an afternoon match, so just be prepared for that. I think that's it. Another loss, guys, and hopefully we don't have to talk about any more losses.
The
Atlanta
2-1
United-
tonight.
Atlanta United 2-1. 2-1, by
Let's
the way,
go.
over Carolina Core, by the way. So,
Yeah.
congrats to
Nice.
them.
It was a good game, too. It was actually really fun to watch.
Nice. But yeah. Like, subscribe, share our content on YouTube. Definitely helps us out a lot. Thanks for watching live. If you're watching live, if you're watching on demand on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, please like our content there. Subscribe to our audio channels and leave a review. Let us know how we are doing. Tommy.
You don't want to ask me.
Henry.
I think everybody knows where we're at.
Yeah.
He just looked. He looked like that sad father
Look-
that was
look
like,
us up.
what did you get on your report card? And then you just wait, and then he was just like, let me talk to your sister first and
Right.
see what she got on her report card.
Yeah. Scars are letter and Spikes on next. Scars and Spikes.
He's not, he doesn't even care what Henry's sister handle is.
We're just going, dude.
Instagram and Threads. Henry, where are you? Social media.
At HA Higita on Twitter, Blue Sky, at HA_Higita on Instagram.
Tyler, where on your social media?
Same place I was last week.
ATL Pilgrim.
That's it.
Tommy, where are you on social media?
Everywhere. Tommy ATL 96. I'll be nice.
Thanks.
I'm gonna go smoke a cigar. I'll see y'all later.
Scars and Specs on next. Scarsandspikes.com.
I'm sorry.
Or Scars with letter of Specs on next.
Yes.
Scars AndSpikes.com with Blue Sky. Scars and Spikes. Instagram Dreads. Facebook.com/Scars and Spikes. Support us on Patreon. Patreon.com/Scars and Spikes. And of course, go to scarsandspikes.com on the internet. Tyler's gonna smoke a cigar. Tommy's gonna drink another White Claw. Henry is gonna consider his life decisions, and we all will see you next time.
Peace, y'all.
Are we back?
I
Go.
think we're back.
Yes.
I am so upset that you guys gaslit me the entire season. Preseason.
Oh.
Miumba. Hoyos.
Dang it, I don't know what you do.
You
You guys hate on Miumba.
What do you mean, you
alright?
guys?
And it's Chris.
No, you know what?
Benalumba.
Sydney didn't set me up for any. Well, Sydney set me up for some expectations. I mean, he was right at the beginning so far. He was like, I don't know about this team.
I barely watch preseason. So Lexington.
Well, I mean, when we were
Oh,
doing like
no one does.
preseason predictions and talking about that, but man, I had all this hope on Miumba, Hoyos, and here's where we are. It's 0-3.
Tyler, I still can't stop thinking about what you said about Hoyas and the breast bots.
You can't tease it and then not. All
I
right.
said he plays like he's high.
So didn't
I
hear
would
that.
like him so much more.
And I'm not trying to be mean. It just feels like it feels like he took a gummy or something before the game. And then about the 60th minute it hits, and it's just like all the reaction time changes entirely. And then you start throwing balls at people.
I was joking that like Hoyos was gonna like
Rock and
take
rolls.
his mask off and it was gonna be Tommy under there.
Would have got away with it too, more of you pesky kids, you stupid dog. Oh my
Henry,
god!
remember the
turn show off.
Henry, remember the podcast I told you we should have that content we should have created for you?
Oh god, no.
That's a
If the season goes really bad, that might be all that saves any
that might be that's a
know.
good story.
Will be the
That's
only
a
way to
story
save
we'll
the
tell you someone in
season.
person.
Dear God, man.
We'll be back tomorrow, but Wednesday we have no idea.
Yeah.
We have no
Me
idea.
too.
I might not be back. If it is, talk to Garber. I got suspended by these
Yeah.
guys. See ya.
Peace out, y'all.
Next time.